Hello class 6, this is Rupeswar. So today we will start a new chapter from science, okay, which is chapter 7, and the name of the chapter is living and non-living, okay. So let's start. So now first of all we will learn living things, okay. So what is living things? So as we know that, okay, things which can breathe, move, reproduce, eat, okay, these are called the living things. So for the example is that we human beings are living beings, okay, animals, aquatic animals or land animals, okay, and even plant also living things, okay. So now you can see things which can grow, move, breathe and reproduce are called living things. Example, human beings, animals and plants, okay, these are the living things. So after this, non-living things, okay. So what is non-living things? So the things which cannot grow, okay, move or breathe and reproduce are called non-living things. Examples, table, books, rock, okay, pen, pencil, copy, bag, etc. These all are the non-living things, okay, and non-living things cannot breathe, okay, and it cannot eat and it cannot move, okay, and it cannot reproduce. So these are the examples of non-living things. So after this, here another topic which is lifespan. Now what is lifespan? Lifespan means all living organisms live for a certain period of time, and this period is called as their lifespan. Now all living organisms, okay, live for a certain period of time, and that period is called their lifespan. So now you can see your example, elephant live for 70 years and dog for 22 years and cow 22 years, cat 25 years, goat 15 years, horse 40 years, human beings 70 to 80 years and lion is 35 years, okay. So these here are the lifespan of this living organism, okay. So after this, characteristics of living organisms. So now living organisms possess some distinctive feature by which we can distinguish them from non-living things. Now living things have some distinctive features, okay, some unique features in compared to non-living things, okay. So following are the characteristics of living organisms. So these are the characteristics of living organisms, and which is not present in non-living things. So these are structural organization, okay. Number one, another growth, movement, food and nutrition, respiration, excretion, reproduction and definite lifespan. Now we will learn this descriptively, okay. Now in details we will learn in details these all the characteristics, okay. So our first characteristic is structural organization. So now our structural organization means our you can see here, okay. So our house is made of walls. So these walls are made of brick. So brick are therefore the smallest structural unit of our house. So as we know that the wall is made of one group of brick, okay. So that is wall is made of brick. So many group of brick can make one wall. So brick is the structural unit of house, okay, or a wall. So similarly in living beings are made of cells. So all the living beings are made of cells, okay. So these cells divide further to form new cells, and the cells which is present in our body, okay, there is millions cells are present in our body, okay. Why? Because these cells divide, okay. The one cells divide into two cells, again that two cells divide into another two cells, okay, like that the cells divide, okay. And so our body is made of cells. So cell is considered as the basic unit of all living organisms, okay. So it is the basic unit of all living organisms, and it is the smallest unit which is present in our body, okay. So now you can see this picture. Okay, now this is the microscopic pictures, okay, image of cell. Okay, so now here it is group of cell. Okay, now one, you can see this one box is one individual cell. Okay, and here it is another cell, here it is another cell. These all are the group of cell. Okay, so these cells divide into two cells, like that these cells dividing. Okay, so this is the cell. So another pictures is here, you can see here, this is also the cell, okay, which is present in living organisms. So after this, based on the number of cells, organisms can be either unicellular and multicellular. Now based on the number of cells, okay, so organisms can be either unicellular or multicellular. Now what is unicellular? Unicellular and multicellular. So first of all we will learn unicellular. Unicellular means single cell organisms. Okay, uni means one and cellular means cell. One cell is present in one organism. Okay, so here organisms that are made of only one cell, okay, that is called unicellular organism. So unicellular means only one cell is present. Okay, so example is amoeba, okay, paramecium, bacteria, yeast and algae. So now I can show you pictures of these examples. Okay, so our first picture is amoeba. Okay, so here the amoeba, in this is microorganisms. Okay, and in these organisms only one single cell is present, that is unicellular. This is unicellular organisms. So this paramecium, here it is also one cell is present, and bacteria, this is bacteria. Okay, so another yeast, this is yeast, and here algae. Okay, these are in these organisms, okay, only single cell is present. Okay, now let's move on to another topic, which is multicellular organisms. So now multicellular means, unicellular means one cell is present. Okay, multicellular means more than two cell is present. Now organisms that are made of two or more cells, so those organisms which are made of two or more cells, that is called multicellular organisms. So examples, plant, okay, plant and dog, frog, we human beings, okay, elephant, etc. Okay, so these are called multicellular organisms. So multicellular means more than two cell is present, then that is called multicellular organisms. Is that clear? So now, bigger the living organisms, larger is the number of cells present in its body. So now bigger the number of, okay, bigger the living organisms, larger is the number of cells present in its body. So for example, a dog has more cells in its body than a frog. Now while we comparing, okay, comparing cells in between dog and frog, which have more cells, so obviously we can say dog has bigger body, okay, in compared to frog. So so dog has a higher number of cells. Okay, so similarly, while an elephant has more cell in its body than a human beings, yes, obviously that elephant has more cells in compared to us. Why? Because elephant have larger body. Okay, that's why elephant have a higher number of cells. So next is growth. Okay, another characteristics which is growth, and this is not found in non-living things. So all living organisms grow. Yes, we know that all living organisms grow. So growth is the increase in size and volume of the body. So now growth means what? It is increase in size and volume of the body. So when cells present in an organism divide, the number increases. Okay, so I already told you that cells dividing. Okay, so cells divide in organisms and the number of cells is increases. Okay, so our size of body, our size and volume of our body is increases day by day or year by year. Okay, so This increases in the number of cells is responsible for increase in size. Now look here, this increases in the number of cells. While there increase in number of cells, then the size is also increases. If number of cells increases, then size of our body is also increases. Okay, so human beings grow from babies to adult. So we grow from babies to adult. Okay, so as we know that in baby we are so much small, yes or no? So after some years we are bigger in compared to that baby. Okay, this is growth. This is called growth, and growth is responsible when cells divide. Okay, so puppies become dogs, and kitchen grow into cats, and seeds grow into bigger plant and trees. This in this process growth is take place. Okay, so why growth is take place? Because due to the dividing cells in living organisms. Okay, so dividing cells are responsible for the increase in size and volume. Okay, so now I will show you a picture. Now you can see this picture. This is cell. Okay, now this cell is dividing. Now see properly. Now here it is 4 cell. Okay, now it will divide. Now look here, it will dividing and it will form more cell. So now as we observe here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 cells are here. Okay, so this is the process of dividing cells. So after this, here it is growth take place in plant. Okay, so this is the growth take place in plant due to the dividing cells in plant body, isn't it? So now next you can see here, if we sown seed, then it will germinate. Okay, after some days, after some month, it will be grow in bigger plant. Okay, and why it is increases in size and volume? Because due to the dividing cells. Okay, cells which is increases in number, that's why it will increase in size and volume. Okay, so now here are the examples. Now baby. Okay, so after some years we will mature. Okay, this is due to the dividing cells. Okay, cells increases in our body. Now another characteristics, which is movement. Okay, and this movement is not present in non-living things. Okay, we cannot found in non-living things that table can move. No, that is not possible. Okay, if we push or pull, then it can move. Okay, so let's start. Movement is an important feature of living organisms. Okay, so this movement is the most important features in living organisms. The movement could be external movement. Now the movement could be external movement or internal movement. Now what is this external movement? Okay, so example, suppose we raise our hand. Okay, so raising our hand is our external movement. Okay, so I am raising my hand. This is external movement. This is our external movement. Now internal movement. Now internal movement means example, the movement of blood inside the body. Okay, so the blood circulate in our body. Okay, so in all our parts there is blood circulate. Okay, that is the internal movement. Okay, that is called internal movement, isn't it? Now you can see this picture. Okay, here the red veins is the blood. Okay, now this blood will transport to all over our body. Okay, it will circulate in all our body. Now this is the internal movement. Okay, and external movement means if I raise my hand, then this is external movement. Now here animal show locomotion. This is why they can move from one place to another in search of food and shelter and to escape from their enemies. Okay, so animal show locomotion. So animal, you can see these pictures. Okay, your animal showing locomotion. Okay, this is why they can move from one place to another. Okay, while locomotion take place, they can move from one place to another. Okay, in search of food, shelter. Okay, and to escape from their enemies. Now here plant do not move from one place to another but do so internal movement. Okay, so plant do not move from one place to another, but it have internal movement, so like photosynthesis. Okay, so we have learned that photosynthesis means it will make food, okay, in leaves with the help of sunlight, air and water. Okay, so while there in leaves, while there is food is made, okay, and now that food is distributed in all over the part of plant. Okay, that process is called photosynthesis. You can see this picture, okay, here with the help of sun and with help of water and with the help of air. Okay, this plant will make food in leaves. Okay, and after making food, this food will be distributed in all over plant body. Okay, so plants show internal movement. Okay, and plant also do some kind of external movement, and there is some external movement also. So for example, leaves of Mimosa pudica. Now Mimosa pudica means, you can see this picture, this plant is called Mimosa pudica, which is the common name is touch me not plant. Okay, if we touch this plant, then this plant start to bend. Okay, so this is the external movement of this plant. Okay, so the name of this plant is Mimosa pudica and the common name is touch me not plant. Okay, so we found this plant in our locality also. Okay, so if we touch this plant, then it will start to bend. Okay, so another plant is there, which is Venus flytrap. Now this Venus flytrap, it will trap the insect, okay, which is sitting on it by opening and closing its leaf. Now you can see this plant, now this plant will open and close its mouth. Okay, here this is, now whenever there are insects sitting in it, okay, it will close their mouth. Okay, so like this they will trap the insect, okay, for their food. Okay, so this is the example of some external movement of plant. And here, while non-living cannot move on their own, yes or no? If we table can move, no, so they need external force to make them move. So if table can move, then they need some external force. Okay, like if I push, then it will be change their place, or if I pull, then it also change their place. Okay, so for example, table will not move by itself until someone pushes or pull it. Okay, so if we push the table, then it will be moved. Okay, it will change the place, otherwise it cannot change their place by their own. Okay, so non-living things cannot move by their own. Okay, now next characteristics is food and nutrition. Now what is food and nutrition? Now all living organisms need food for survival. Okay, so all living organisms, they need food for survival, and the food consumed by organisms provide them energy for growth and development and for doing work. So the food consumed by organisms, okay, now that food provide us energy, okay, and energy for growth and development, okay, and for doing some activities, work. Okay, so organisms like green plant prepare their own food with the help of air, water and sunlight through the process of photosynthesis. So plant make their own food, okay, with the help of sunlight, water, air, and this process is called photosynthesis. Okay, and this photosynthesis process is take place in leaves. Okay, now you can see these pictures. Okay, in these leaves, okay, with the help of sunlight, air and water, they make their own food, okay, in leaves during daytime, and this process is called photosynthesis. Now you can see these pictures also, sunlight. Okay, now sunlight, with the help of sunlight, water, minerals, okay, and air, so they can make their own food. Now autotrophs. What is autotrophs? Okay, autotrophs means plant which make their own food, okay, that is called autotrophs. So your plant which make their own food is known as autotrophs. So we know that plant make their own food, that's why they are autotrophs. So here heterotrophs. Now heterotrophs mean organisms which depend on other, okay, on other, like on plant and animals for their food, are called heterotrophs. So heterotrophs means those organisms which are depend on others for food, okay, that is called heterotrophs. So heterotrophs examples are tiger depend on other animals for their food. Okay, so you can see this picture. Now tiger need for others, okay, now it hunt others animals for their food. So this is called heterotrophs. Okay, so autotrophs means plant which make their own food, that is called autotrophs, and heterotrophs means those organisms which depend on others, that is called heterotrophs, isn't it? So now another characteristics, which is respiration. Now respiration is the movement of oxygen from the environment to the cells and the transport of carbon dioxide in the environment from the body. Now respiration means as we respire, okay, at that time we take oxygen, okay, and we breathe out carbon dioxide, okay. So when we take oxygen from surrounding, okay, from surrounding to our body, and carbon dioxide out from our body to the environment, this process is called respiration. So the food that we eat react with oxygen brought by the air. We breathe in to release energy. This energy is utilized by living organisms for doing various activities, work. Now when we eat food, okay, and that food will react with air, which we when respire, the air will be enter, okay, at that time the food will react with that air, and that will provide us energy, okay, and that energy is used for doing some work activities, okay. Now you can see here we take oxygen from surrounding to our body, okay, and carbon dioxide is out from our body to the environment. This process is respiration. Now here, when breathing, air enter our body through the nose. So when we breathe, okay, air enter through our nose. Now you can see these pictures, okay, from nose the air enters, okay, and it travels to the lungs, from where the oxygen in the air is absorbed by the blood. Now that air, okay, that air or oxygen, okay, it travel to the lungs, okay. So now, and that it travel to the lungs, and that air, okay, or that oxygen is absorbed by the blood. In our blood, okay, our blood absorb that oxygen. After that, the absorbed oxygen is transported by blood to different part of our body and supplied to each and every cells. Now that absorb oxygen, okay, the oxygen which is absorbed by our blood, now that blood is transported to all our body, okay, and it will supply to each and every cells. Now the digested food is burned down in the presence of this oxygen to release energy and carbon dioxide. Now the digested food is burned down, okay, in the presence of this oxygen to release energy and carbon dioxide, okay. So is this clear? So now here, human, birds, cow, dogs, cats and other land animals breathe through their nostril, okay. So these all organisms breathe through nostril. Fish and other aquatic animals breathe through gills. So as we human beings, birds, cow, dogs, cats and other land animals, they all are breathe from nostrils, okay, while fish breathe from gills. Now you can see these pictures. Now here, okay, the gills is present in this portion, okay. So fish breathe from with the help of these gills, okay, while in case of insect breathe through holes which is called spiracles, which is present on their bodies. Now insect breathe with the help of spectacle. Okay, now and spectacles which is present in the lower portion of the body of insect. Now here you can see this is spectacles. Okay, now with the help of these spectacles this insect breathe. Okay, so while in case of earthworm, an earthworm breathe through their skin. Now earthworm breathe through their skin. Okay, you can see here. And after this, plant also breathe and respire. As we know that plant also living things, so obviously plant breathe and respire. Now they take in oxygen from air through small opening present on the leaves called stomata. So they take oxygen, okay, from air through small opening present on the leaves called stomata. So with the help of stomata they take oxygen, and the carbon dioxide produced during respiration is also released through the stomata, and carbon dioxide is also released, okay, through the stomata. And during the process of photosynthesis they take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. Now during the process of photosynthesis, okay, while making their food, okay, they take carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen. Okay, so now here it is leaves, okay, and in this leaves here the stomata is present. Okay, now you can see here this is open stomata and here it is closed stomata. Okay, so during daytime this stomata is open, okay, and plant make their food with the help of sunlight, air and water. Another pictures of stomata, this is open stomata and this is closed stomata. Now see this one. Now you can see this. Now it is opening. Okay, now it is opening, again it is closing. Okay, the stomata looks like this. Okay, so in during daytime it will open, okay, and in night time it will close. Here it is also another picture. You can see this. Here the stomata is opening and closing. Okay, now it closing and again opening. Okay, you can see this, the stomata. Okay, so after this here the another topic which is excretion. Now excretion means as living organisms eat, respire, grow and develop and carry out various processes of the body, they produce certain unwanted or wasteful substances that are toxic for the body. Such substances need to be removed from the body by the process of excretion. Now excretion means it is the remove, okay, remove of toxic substances from our bodies, that is called excretion. Excretion means while we eat food, okay, at that time while it digested, some unwanted or toxic substances, okay, it will be stored and it will be removed from our body. Okay, that toxic substances, okay, or unwanted substances which is removed from our body, okay, that process is called excretion. So in animals, after digestion the undigested food is removed from the alimentary canal in the form of feces. This is called defecation. So animal after digestion, okay, some undigested food is removed from the alimentary canal in the form of feces. This is called defecation. Okay, this process is called defecation. Now excess of salt and water are removed from the body in the form of urine and sweat. Now excess of salt and water also removed from our body in the form of urine and sweat. Okay, now excretion also occur in plant. Now in plant also excretion occur. Plant also release carbon dioxide and excess water through the stomata present on their leaves and stem. Now through the stomata they can release carbon dioxide and water also, okay, excess carbon dioxide and water. So other waste are released in the form of gums and resin, and other waste products are also released in the form of gums and resin. Now as we know that we have seen that the gums of trees, okay, So that are actually the toxic substances, okay, unwanted substances which is present in plant, okay, that are excreted from the plant. So non-living things do not excrete and non-living things do not excrete, okay. Now I will show you the pictures of resin. Now here it is resin, okay. So we have seen this picture. Now this is called resin and this is excreted from the plant, okay, and this is the toxic substances which is present in plant body, okay. So after that, here it is gum, okay, gum. Now this gum is also the unwanted toxic substances, okay, so it is also removed from the plant. Now after that, another excuse me. So after that, another characteristics which is reproduction. Now reproduction means all living organisms reproduce, that is they produce new organisms of their own kind. This process is called reproduction. So reproduction means living organism reproduce, okay, they reproduce of their own kind, okay, that is called this process is called reproduction. So when the one living organisms reproduce of their own kind, okay, and that organisms that process is called reproduction. So humans give birth to babies, okay, so this is called reproduction. So now other animals also give birth to young ones. For example, dog gives birth to puppies, okay, cats to kittens and lions to cubs and so on. Now you can see this picture, okay. Now this dogs gives birth to these puppies, okay, and this is reproduction. And another example, cat, okay, cat to kittens and lions to cubs, okay, these all are the reproduction. So now reproduction, some organisms reproduce through egg and there is some organisms, okay, which reproduce through egg, okay. So examples are hen, birds, okay, snake, frog, etc. Now example is birds, frog, fishes and snakes. Now you can see these pictures, okay, here the babies of birds, okay. So birds reproduce through egg and here it is frog, okay, the egg of the frog. And even most plant reproduce through seeds, okay, plant also reproduce through seeds. They produce seeds inside their fruit. So seed is present inside the fruit. While we eat mango fruit, okay, the seed is present inside that fruit, and in apple also there is also seed is present, okay, and in orange there is also seed is present. So seed is present inside the food, while non-living things do not reproduce, okay, non-living things cannot reproduce. And another characteristics which is definite lifespan. Now all living organisms take birth, become mature, get old and eventually die, okay, at last all living organisms die. So each organism lives for a particular number of years, which is known as lifespan. We already learned this lifespan, okay. Living organisms live for a certain period of time and that period is called their lifespan. So for example, housefly lives for about 1 month, okay, only 1 month housefly, while a pine tree may live for thousands of years. And non-living things do not have a lifespan, while non-living things they do not have a lifespan. So now I will show you some chart table, okay. Here the table of some organisms. So here the name of the living beings, okay, and here their lifespan. Now the number one is mayfly. Now mayfly, now their lifespan is only 1 day, okay. Housefly 4 weeks, dragonfly 4 months, and your horse 30 years, polar bear 42 years, chimpanzee 59 years, okay. Here is also another, a worker bee 1 year, mouse 2 years, queen bee 5 years, dog 14 years, Asian elephant 86 years, a macaw 80 to 100 years, koi, which is called Japanese fish, okay, and it is 200 plus years. tortoise 190 years. Okay, so this is their lifespan. Now response to stimuli. Now anything that trigger reaction in an organism is called stimulus. Okay, so now what is stimulus? Suppose anything that trigger reaction in an organism, that is stimulus. Now the reaction of the organism is called response, and now we will know this stimulus through the help of example. Okay, suppose here it is one hot pan. Okay, now this is heated pan now, and it is so much hot. Okay, so when we toss that hot pan, what happened at that time? We will be sudden shocked. Okay, so we will at that time at that time we will pull our hand, okay, from that pan. Why? Because that is hot. Okay, and that hot is the stimulus. Okay, that is the stimulus. Is that clear? And the reaction of the organism, and while we react, okay, that is our response. Okay, so that this pan is the stimulus, and when we toss this pan, okay, that is our response. Okay, so we this is called stimulus and response. So our sense organ are eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. So plant also respond to stimuli. So Mimosa pudica leaves droop when touched. The touch is the stimulus and drooping of leaves is the response. Okay, so plant also responds. So that is toss me not plant. Okay, same example, when we toss that plant, it will bend. Okay, so the touch, so when we toss that plant, that touch is the stimulus. Okay, and the leaves will bend, that is their response. Is that clear? Now phototropism. Okay, now what is phototropism? Now phototropism means the property of a plant stem, okay, to grow towards the source of light. Now the property of a plant stem, okay, to grow towards the source of light. Whenever they will get the light, okay, they will grow at that direction. Now here light is the stimulus and growth of the stem towards the light is the response. Now in this case light is the stimulus, okay, and that growth of stem towards the source of light is their response. Okay, now you can see these pictures. Here it is plant. Now this plant is going towards the source of light, okay, in that direction. So this is called phototropism. And another is geotropism. Now geotropism means the root of plant have a tendency to grow in the direction of earth and stem in the opposite direction to earth. Now the root of a plant tendency to grow in the direction of earth. Now we know that the root in the direction of downward. Okay, so in downward there is root grow, okay, and the stem is grow in the upward direction, okay, opposite to the earth direction. So that is called the geotropism. So you can see here the root is growing in downward direction, okay, and the stem of this plant will grow to the upward direction, that is opposite to the earth direction. So this is called geotropism, and this property is called geotropism. Okay, now okay, thank you.